Get ready to witness the California cash bonanza as baseball superstar Shohei Ohtani's contract expires this year. The man is already raking up $30 million in 2023, and once the season wraps up, he'll be a free agent up for grabs by any of the 30 Major League Baseball teams. No doubt, he's about to ink a historic, wallet-busting deal that'll make your head spin. Now, I know what you're thinking. $30 million in a single year sounds like a small fortune. Well, it's not chump change, my friend. In fact, it's the largest paycheck in baseball. But hold your horses, there's more to it. Ohtani isn't just your average player. He's a beast both at batting and pitching, a rare double threat that sets him apart from the rest. He's like the unicorn of the game. So let's dive into the crystal ball and peek at Ohtani's future. Where will he play in 2024 and beyond? And how much moolah will he rake in? Brace yourself, because the guesstimates start at a staggering $500 million for the next decade of his incredible work. That surpasses Angels teammate Mike Trout's jaw-dropping $426 million 12-year deal signed in 2019. Big money, my friend, big money. But here's the kicker. Ohtani isn't just making bank from his salary. The guy's killing it with endorsements, too. In fact, he currently holds the crown for the highest total baseball earnings in 2023, estimated at a cool $70 million, according to Sportico. That's what you call a real money-making machine. Let's talk numbers for a second. Starting pitchers like Ohtani have a grueling schedule, playing roughly every 6 days throughout a demanding 6-month-plus season with 162 games. And guess what? The Angels draw in bigger crowds on weekends, with attendance that's around 30% higher than midweek games. In 2022, when Ohtani took the mound on a weekend in Anaheim, the average attendance skyrocketed to 36,891, 629 more fans than any other Saturday or Sunday home games. It's a modest 2% boost, but still, that's the Ohtani effect in action. But here's where things get interesting. Even the toughest sell, those dreaded midweek matchups, gets a significant boost when Ohtani takes the mound. During his 12 weekday starts in 2022, Angel Stadium saw an average crowd of 29,221, a hefty bump of 2,181 or 8%. Now that's what you call a crowd puller. The Ohtani ticket sale phenomenon has reached new heights this year, more than doubling in size. During his pair of weekend pitching starts, an average 40,135 fans showed up, an increase of 1,937 or 5% compared to other Saturday and Sunday games. And on weekdays, his 7 starts pulled in an impressive average of 33,907 fans, a staggering jump of 5,077 fans or 18% per game. Now that's what you call a popularity explosion. Just imagine the ripple effect of this kind of star power across a team's entire economic landscape, from TV ratings and merchandise sales to corporate partnerships. Ohtani's impact goes far beyond the field. Let's not forget, Ohtani's already one of baseball's premier players, and he's just hitting his stride at 30 years old. So what does this reveal about his future payday? First, let's look at the 5 players with the juiciest batter contracts. On average, these superstars signed 11-year deals worth a whopping $34 million per year, or a total value of $371 million when they were 28 years old. Now, let's shift our focus to the top-paid pitchers. This elite group, with an average age of 31, secured 6-year deals worth $31 million per year, totaling an average of $198 million. As you can see, batters tend to receive almost twice as many lucrative years as pitchers. The reason behind this is that field players compete day in and day out, while pitchers face concerns about their longevity. However, with Ohtani, I'll argue that his dual threat abilities serve as insurance against any potential decline in performance over the long term. He's likely to excel in multiple aspects of the game for an extended period. So here's the bottom line. Ohtani should not settle for any 2-for discounts. This unicorn of a player effectively fills 2 roster spots with his exceptional skills. In a sport where roster space is limited, his dual threat status becomes a colossal tactical advantage. Add to that his enormous marketing value thanks to his global stardom and Japanese roots. Therefore, he deserves to be compensated for his double duty, the average pay of premier batters combined with what top-tier pitchers earn. Assuming a 10-year deal, my spreadsheet indicates that Ohtani should command a mind-boggling package of $664 million, roughly $66 million per year. Now that's a payday befitting a player of his caliber and versatility. Out of all the deals I studied, half of them were made in 2021 or earlier. And guess what? The newer contracts are 5% pricier. Yes, even ball players experience wage inflation. Factoring in this pricing trend, my trusty spreadsheet now values Ohtani at a whopping $701 million over 10 years. That's a cool $70 million per season. Now, all I did was take what teams are currently paying their top stars and project those salaries to account for this unparalleled two-way phenomenon. Here's an interesting tidbit. The 14 players earning more than Ohtani in 2023 have average salaries of $36.6 million at the age of 34. Team owners are billionaires for a reason. They understand quality and appreciate having expensive toys. But they also don't like to overpay. However, all it takes is one team to make Shohei Ohtani an incredibly wealthy man. In MLB, there's no salary cap, only a competitive balance tax. Just look at Mets owner Steve Cohen, who's assembling a roster in Joe Lacob Warriors-like fashion, ignoring any financial limits. The Giants, with a valuation of $3.5 billion, still rank as MLB's fifth most valuable franchise. Will they go above and beyond to secure an all-time talent like Ohtani in his prime? Undoubtedly, Ohtani would put butts in seats, and the Giants currently 11th in spending with Jock Peterson as their highest-paid player at $19.6 million could make a serious play. However, California's high taxes have dissuaded players like Bryce Harper in the past. The Mets, Dodgers, and Yankees are also expected to be in the mix for Ohtani, so Hill's lofty guess might not be too far off from the final figure. In the world of baseball contracts, values have been on the rise over the past 5 to 10 years. Remember when Alex Rodriguez signed that massive 10-year, $252 million deal with the Texas Rangers in 2001? It was mind-boggling at the time. But since then, we've seen contracts surpassing A-Rod's, with 13 players signing deals worth $300 million or more in total value. The current record holder is Ohtani's teammate, outfielder Mike Trout, who secured a jaw-dropping 12-year, $426.5 million extension with the Angels in 2019. And in terms of annual value, Aaron Judge reigns supreme with his 9-year, $360 million deal. That's $40 million per year. But mark my words, Ohtani is poised to surpass them all by a wide margin. Few players excel as both pitchers and hitters like he does. His performance in both aspects of the game is extraordinary, so don't be surprised if he lands a contract that reaches or even surpasses $50 million per year. And let's not forget, we've only witnessed 19 contracts of at least 10 years in MLB history, so teams will be eager to secure Ohtani for the long haul. A 12-year, $600 million deal could very well be within reach. Oh, and here's an interesting twist. As of now, the Angels are in the postseason, an unprecedented feat in Ohtani's career. If he can dominate in the playoffs on top of his stellar regular season performance, it'll only add to the intrigue and likely fatten his bank account even more. Now, if Ohtani secures the coveted $500 contract, the reverberations will undoubtedly be felt throughout Major League Baseball, reshaping the landscape of future contracts and impacting the league as a whole. First and foremost, Ohtani's massive contract would elevate the market value for premier players in the MLB. Agents and players alike would seize upon this landmark deal as evidence of the rising tide lifting all boats. Negotiations for future contracts would reference Ohtani's monumental payday, leading to heightened demands and increased salaries for players with similar talents or exceptional skills in specific areas of the game. The ripple effect of Ohtani's contract would extend beyond individual player negotiations. It reshaped the dynamics of team-building strategies across the league. Front offices would have to reassess their financial plans and roster structures to accommodate such exorbitant salaries. The impact would be felt not only in terms of player salaries, but also in relation to team budgets and payroll allocations. On top of that, Ohtani's contract would set a new precedent for how teams value multidimensional players. Previously, the idea of a player excelling both as a batter and a pitcher was met with skepticism, as it hadn't been seen since the days of baseball legend Babe Ruth. Ohtani's success as a two-way player has shattered those doubts and opened up new possibilities. Teams may become more open to investing in versatile players who can make a significant impact in multiple facets of the game, leading to a shift in roster construction strategies. Ohtani's astronomical contract would also have implications for sponsorship deals and endorsements in the baseball world. His global popularity, combined with his exceptional performance on the field, would make him an even more attractive figure for brands and marketers. Companies would be eager to align themselves with the highest player in the history of the game, resulting in potentially lucrative opportunities not only for Ohtani, but for other players as well. I don't know about you, but that definitely sounds like a good thing to me.